Hey, welcome to another episode of GeekOutdoors.com. When it comes to smartphones, a lot of us already know what to expect. Even from big companies such as Samsung and Apple, we pretty much know that's going to be rectangular. It's going to have better specs than the year before. Maybe the screen is going to be higher resolution, or it's going to be a little different and maybe a few additional features. But for the most part, smartphones are pretty much the same, regardless of which platform and which manufacturer you go with. However, one company that's still fighting, for attention, still around, is Blackberry. And now they're about to release their newest phone, the Blackberry KeyOne. Now, if you have not seen this phone, this is a 4.5-inch phone. It has a Snapdragon 625 processor, 3 gigs of RAM, 3,505 milliamp battery inside, 32 gigs of onboard storage, and it also has a 12 megapixel rear and 8 megapixel front camera. And the resolution itself is a 1020 by 1680, so it's not even 1080p. However, what's most distinct and what's most Blackberry about it is it actually has a keyboard, just by going by the name. So the keyboard, it's at the bottom portion of the phone, so it doesn't actually slide out or anything. And so that's what makes this difference. Now, the manufacturers that's going to be making this phone is TCL, which is a huge Chinese consumer electronics company. And the brand that you're probably most familiar with is Alcatel here in the US. Now, just judging by the specs, you're probably not going to be wowed by it or blown away by it, because there's so many phones that do a lot better job in terms of specs. And also pricing wise, unlocked is $549. So I really don't expect this to be a big seller at all. But what I am really surprised by is that Blackberry is still trying to make phones, which is really surprising to me, because I'm not really sure how they're actually able to make their money besides their actually there's maybe their security software. And this phone is built with that in mind. But what I really like about this is the fact that it's different. If you go to their website, it says distinctly different. I think that was the last thing that I saw, and that really encapsulates everything that Blackberry is trying to do now. And it's kind of funny because they used to be the dominant player, one of the dominant players besides Nokia back then. And when smartphone comes out, smartphones with touchscreens were different. And now it's kind of funny how Blackberry with physical keyboards is actually the one who is different. And I find that that's really refreshing, that companies are trying to do something different in the whole smartphone space. And it's really difficult to do, because at the end of the day, you got to sell these phones, okay? Now, I myself, I've been a huge Blackberry lover. I've had Blackberries ever since their candy bar phones. I've had their PDAs. I've had pretty much majority of Blackberry products. I actually love Blackberry, and I'm a huge proponent of the physical keyboards. Even to this day, I would prefer a physical keyboard versus the digital touchscreen. It's just a lot easier for me. I just really love that tactile feel. But in this case, I'm not sure if people who are used to touchscreens nowadays, which pretty much everybody uses, will actually be open to this quote-unquote new way of using a smartphone. And also in terms of what Blackberry can provide and offer, once again, I really don't think this is going to be a big seller. So I don't think it's going to be different enough. There's going to offer enough value for people to actually take notice of it. However, I really feel like if Blackberry keeps doing this, keeps coming out with these distinctly different features, it'll be good. It's so refreshing to see something that is different, but also at the same time that's familiar as well. So what are your thoughts on the Blackberry KeyOne? Did you think it's something that's even remotely surprising to you, or nostalgic, or even something that you would consider buying yourself? And also, in terms of innovation in smartphones, is there any place that you feel that innovation would help, whether it would be the type of materials they use, the screen technology, or the VR technology, whatever the case might be sure to leave it in the comments area below. And as always, if you did get value out of these videos, you can leave a like and subscribe. And if you wanted to support my channel further, you could do that at patreon.com/geekoutdoors. Thanks for watching. See you in another episode. Thanks for checking out this episode. And as always, if you like these videos, be sure to click on the subscribe button. And for full written content, audio content, and additional geek stuff, head over to geekoutdoors.com, and I'll see you outdoors on the very next episode.